I'm going to get live on Instagram and then we'll get started. All right, we are live on Instagram and on YouTube. Welcome to day 15 of the 30-day live challenge. And today is going to be a good one, you guys. So in honor of, meeting this halfway mark, this milestone, I like to celebrate when I, continue to make commitments, stay consistent. And because this is day 15, I thought, you know what? Let me go ahead and share my exact marketing plan for when I launched my signature book, Six-Step Blueprint, How to Write a Book in 30 Days for Faith-Based Authors. This is the same book that makes me consistent royalties since it launched in October of 2021. And I'm going to give you guys exactly what I did. So today is a good day to make sure that you have your pen and a notebook. Also, I am going to, because I'll be doing a lot of talking, your girl got some tea. And so I want to recommend that if you want to get your water, get your tea, but I got a lot that I want to cover today and super excited. So thank you. Hi, thanks for joining. So my name is Tahira. I didn't introduce myself. I am a Christian author, teacher, and self-publishing consultant. I am the owner of Tahira Gift Consulting, where I help you to write, self-publish, and market your faith-based books for impact and income. And super excited. Like I said, this is going to be a good one today. And when I was taking my notes, I was like, oh wow. They're gonna need it. They're gonna need a pen and paper for this one. So we got a lot to cover. However, I am going to just encourage you, if you need to, if you catch me live, you can always go back and watch the replay. But before I jump into my exact marketing plan, I want to just, as promised, this week, I said I was going to give you at least 3 marketing keys. This is coming out of my Impact to Income ebook. A lot of you guys have already grabbed it. I want to let you guys know that you only have 2 more days if you want to grab this Impact to Income ebook, because I have taken this out of my Market Your Book bundle. But for the next 2 days, if you want to grab it, you can get it. And this is, we're going to jump in. Hi, thanks for joining, Billy Be Kind. We're going to jump into the 3 marketing keys, and then I'm going to share with you guys my exact marketing plan. Okay, you guys ready? All right. So yesterday we went over 4 through 6. So we're going to just jump right in and do 7 through 9. Okay. So these are things that if you implement them can help you to increase your book sales. And so we're going to start with number 7. Okay. You guys ready? This is coming out of the Impact to Income ebook. You can get this for free right now if you go to the link on my bio. If you're on Instagram, it is the first link. If you're on YouTube, you can check the video description and you can get this ebook, okay? But only until Friday. All right, so number 7 is speak to your ideal client. Tell them the book was written for them in mind. Speak to your ideal client and tell them that the book was written with them in mind. And so hopefully when you were writing your book, you had a target reader in mind. That is who you want to speak to, and you want to tell them that you were thinking of them when you were writing the book, right? And the reason why you want to target is because our book is not for everyone, right? That is okay. Your audience and who is going to be assigned to you, who God has purposed to read your book, you want to talk to that person, all right? Now we're jumping into the next key. Share and overshare the book title. I'm going to say it again. Share and overshare the book title. And you can do this in many ways. You can do this when you're jumping on a video. For me, I actually just did it by showing my book cover, like an actual stagnant post, on Instagram or Facebook. But share the title, because the title alone can help people determine if they want to continue to listen, if that's something that they've been looking for, or if not. That is a simple marketing key. And then the final marketing key that I'm going to give you guys today is to do a giveaway. Do a giveaway. And I want to share a quick story about a giveaway. So back when I had my first nonfiction book, chapter book that I self-published back in 2018, I did a giveaway for the first time. And do you guys know that from that giveaway that I did years ago, one of the women to this day, not only does she buy everything that I put out, but she shares. She literally markets for me my books, my videos, whatever I do. And it all started because she said she had never won anything in her life. And I gave her my book. And I created, you think, oh, I'm giving something for free, but I created a lifelong, not only client, fan, friend, prayer partner. She's always praying for me, just wanting my good because I led with generosity, right? Which is another part of my marketing plan, which we're going to get into. But there's so many ways, you guys. I can't get into it with this live because I have so much to cover with the marketing plan. But there's so many ways to do a giveaway that you may not think of, right? But those are some marketing keys, okay? So I shared, speak to your ideal client. Tell them that you wrote the book for them. I said, share and overshare your book title. And the third marketing key was do a giveaway. All right. So tomorrow, I'm going to give you guys 3 more marketing keys. Also, I decided, so I'm just super excited. Okay. Because I know I said this week we're going to be talking about marketing, but I think I want to give you a little bit more tomorrow. I want to give you 3 marketing keys out of the Impact to Income ebook, but I'm also going to talk about email marketing, because email marketing, a lot of people feel like, well, I don't know how to do it. So I'm going to give you guys some tips around that. So join me tomorrow for that. And then Friday, we are going to do, and I wrote it down because I'm super excited. Oh, Friday, we're going to talk about Amazon ads. And I may need to do a part 2 for that, because when I started doing Amazon ads, that really, really, I would just say helped to make my sales consistent on Amazon. So we're gonna dedicate Friday to that. But now, you guys, are you ready? Make sure that you have a pen and a notebook ready. I am sharing my exact marketing plan, strategy, whatever you want to call it. I have never shared this live before. I don't think I've ever even given it away to my clients. So you are in for a treat, okay? So this is the exact thing that I did when I launched this book, my signature book. This book makes me consistent royalties month after month. And after looking at everything that I did, because I wrote it down, I was like, oh, well, it's a lot. I was like, no wonder I'm making consistent sales. Like, sometimes you just gotta pat yourself on the back, because you know your girl work ethic. It was right. It was right. So we are going to be talking about exactly what I did to meet my financial goals. And I had a 4-figure. I think I told y'all in the last live, if you missed it yesterday, I think I had made a goal of like 2,000 that I wanted to make with this launch back in 2021. So I made that, and I was able to make consistent sales month after month. I'm still making consistent sales. This book sells every single month. And so the strategies that I'm about to share with you, you know, if you feel like, you know what, that's something that I want to try, I want to encourage you, go for it, implement it, and you can do it. All right. So you guys ready? All right. It's going to be a lot. So let me sip my tea. And then also, for those that didn't know, I got this as an end of the year gift from one of my students, because they know I love mugs, because I love my tea. So if you need to, make sure you have your tea today. All right. Here we go, you guys. This is exactly what I did step by step. The first thing I did, number 1, when marketing my signature book, was I made an announcement. I know that may seem simple, but I made an announcement before, and this is the thing, before the book came out, I announced that it was coming out. And you probably have seen me doing that with my book that I'm currently writing, okay? Some of these things you'll see is familiar, because why? It works. So I made an announcement, okay? The second thing I did was I started doing weekly lives, right? So once I made the announcement, I say, hey, I got this new book coming out. I started to show up and I started to serve weekly, doing Q&A, sharing what I know, right? And this is all before, I want to preference, this is before the book came out, okay? And I want to say something here. I want to stop and say this because this is very, very important. Everything that I did, I prayed about, and I got, the go ahead from God to do it. Okay. So I want to say that this is a plan that nobody told me to do. This was not a plan that, like, I had a business coach. This was literally God saying, lead with generosity. Okay. So I was instructed to give. And that was easy for me because I tend to be a generous person anyway. But that was the instruction, lead with generosity. Because before I even knew, if I was going to have a successful launch, I knew that I was going to show up and I was going to serve. Okay. So if you're taking notes, that's the one thing I want you to know. Lead with generosity. Okay. So now we're on step 3. I did a 30-day live challenge, and I did this free on IG to build up an audience. Okay, so what you guys see me doing with this 30-day live challenge, that is not new for me. I've done it multiple times. And I want to go back to actually 2019 because doing the 30-day challenge is how I made my first 4 figures. Before 2019, I was an author that, obviously still working my full-time job, and I would make, like $300 here, $500 here. I would make, enough where I was like excited, when I'm, at my office and I'm, making sales and it was, I was starting to see that I can make a career. I could be a career author. However, it was not until I did a 30-day challenge. And at that time in 2019, I did it via email. And then I had a small Facebook group that I would go live in, and I would sell. At that time, I had like a bunch of books. So I did a bundle, and it was just a $30. I think I did like a 3 for $30. And I said, hey, I'm doing this. It was a courage challenge, and my book was called Courage. And I said, hey, if you buy my book, well, join the challenge. The challenge is free. Join the challenge. And every single day I promoted my book. And I said, hey, I got this new book. But guess what? If you get the book, I'm also going to throw in 2 additional books, right? So it was like a bundle deal for $30. And do you know that was when I made my first 4 figures? So $1,000 and more, okay? Doing that challenge. So because I already had previous experience that, these 30-day work in 2021, what did I do? I did what worked. I said, okay, I'm going to do a 30-day live challenge. At this time, stories were really, really popular back in 2021. So I did my challenge via Instagram stories. So it was free, but people had to jump on my Instagram, and then I think I would like download it and save the thing onto my, back then you could save the stories. And so I would save the stories, and people can watch the replay that way. So I did a 30-day live free challenge on IG to build up an audience. And what did I talk about? I talked about what was going to be in my book, how to write a book in 30 days. And I literally just went on live and I started saying, hey, if you want to write a book, I'm doing this challenge. I can help you do it in 30 days. Now, I knew the people didn't know, right? And this is where strategy comes in. I knew that I was doing this because I got a book coming out. Okay, I was already ahead in my marketing efforts, and I hope that me sharing this, you're getting some hints, and you're probably seeing me doing this. So I'm giving you the exact play-by-play. Okay. Now the audience, I didn't come out and I didn't say, hey, I'm doing this 30-day challenge because eventually I'm going to, I want to sell my book to you. I was just leading with value. I was just giving. I was just serving. I was showing up and sharing what I know, and knowing that it was a book and it was about to come out. Okay, so and that was to build my audience. It was strategic. Okay, so because everybody who joined that challenge was the people that I knew that I was going to be reaching out to buy my book. Okay, and this is the thing about a 30-day challenge. You don't ever worry about if people can show up or not. You just give. Okay, because the truth is, we all have busy lives. We are mothers. We could wake up one morning, God forbid, our kid is sick, or something happens at work. We can't control if people are going to be consistent, but you stay consistent. You keep showing up, and at the right time, the people will, find whatever live that they need. Okay, and so I just wanted to put that out there. All right, fourth step. If you're just joining me, I'm giving the exact marketing plan. You may have to go back and watch the replay. I'm giving step by step what I did to have a successful launch, to meet my financial goal, and to make consistent sales since this book, 6-Step Blueprint, launched in October of 2021. Okay, so we are on step 4. I also gave out a free checklist. So this checklist went with the book. This is very important for all of my authors out there. This checklist went with my book. So what did I do? I already had my book outline. I took the content that was going to be in my book. I took the content, the outline, and I turned it into a checklist, and I gave it out for free. And during the 30-day live challenge, I said, I'm giving y'all the play-by-play. I said, hey, you want the free checklist? I said it almost every day. At the end of each Instagram story, I would give them something of value, and then I'll say, hey, you want the checklist? It's free. What was I doing? I was building up my email list. And that's why tomorrow I said I'm going to talk about, email marketing, because it's important, okay? And I knew that these were going to be the same people that I say, when my book is ready, hey, guess what? You got the free checklist, you're going to love the book, okay? Because the checklist is just giving you the points. It's not diving deeper, right? And so I gave out the free checklist. Then the next step, we're on step 5 for anybody who's taking notes. Step 1, because I see people have joined us, I announced it. That's the first thing you could do. Announce. And this is before the book came out. I announced, hey, I'm writing a book. Number 2 was I did weekly lives with Q&A. I started to share what I knew. Okay. Step 3, I did a 30-day live challenge free on Instagram to build up my audience. And then step 4, I gave out a free checklist. This checklist went with the book. Very important. It has to go with your book so that it makes sense for them to buy your book. Okay, so now we're on step 5. Okay, and I know I'm running through this pretty fast, but I'm giving you something that I've never shared before. So you guys are going to have to go and just watch the replay. Okay, so I emailed. So once I have these people on my list, right, they're going through the 30-day live with me. They've gotten their free checklist. I emailed and I took them along the journey. For example, whenever my book cover was designed, I said, hey, guess what? This is what the cover is going to look like. Whenever I did a blog or a video or a reel, any update, when I finished a chapter, I shared it with the people on my email list. I took them along the journey. This is before the book came out. So if you want to call it a pre-launch, let's say this is my pre-launch, okay? And remember, I'm doing a 30-day live challenge. So I'm doing this not for a couple of days. There's at least 4 weeks in a month. I was consistently showing up and doing these things. And that's why I said, you guys, when I was writing it, I was like, oh, let me give myself a pat on the back, because girl, your work ethic is good. It's a reason why I was successful, okay? Because your girl, I did that. So that was step 5. I stayed connected to the people on my email list. I didn't let a week go by. I did not let a week go by without touching them with something, whether an update, a video, a blog, just behind the scenes, something, right? So that you stay top of mind. It's called mind share. So because people are busy and they'll forget about you, right? So I was doing this strategically. All right, so now we're on step 6. Now here's where everything that I was doing from step 1 through 5 was giving out free, just leading with generosity. If you're just joining me, God instructed me to lead with generosity. So I was just giving, giving, and giving. But when we got to step 6, now is when I started to pre-sale my book. Okay. Now, I hadn't even started sent my book to the editing. And this is a pro tip for anybody who maybe you're like, I need the funds, because I talked about it in the previous live, how editing can be one of the most expensive things. So here's a pro tip. If you pre-sell your book, you can pay for your editing. So you don't even got to come out the pocket if you're doing this strategy that I'm telling you, because my pre-sales paid for my editing. Yes, I didn't have to come out the pocket because I was strategic. So I pre-sold the book to help pay for my editing costs. The book was not done. Hear me. Now, I'll be honest, this is a very scary thing to do if you are not a person who can follow through with your commitment. Because once people pay you and you say, hey, I'm going to deliver you this product, it's go time. So I already knew by the time I pre-sold, I knew that my cover had came out. I knew that I had finished my book. I knew that I could get it done within 6 weeks, because I don't like to keep people waiting. It's their money. So it can be a lot of pressure. I personally am not doing that this year with Freedom Today because I don't like the pressure. And at the time that I was launching in the fall, I had a lot of because I was going through Amazon, and they had a lot of delay with the shipping that held up my book. And then I had to come back and tell my audience, oh, well, it's going to take me longer to ship your book. I don't like that. I don't like that pressure. So you gotta, it's a personal decision to pre-sale. Okay. I did it. I decided I'm not doing that this time around, but it does work. And if you would like to pre-sale, these are some strategies that you can do it. Give me a second, you guys. Hold on. I'm doing a lot of talking, so I will be sipping today. All right, so now we're on step 7. So now, this is when I launched the book. So everything else that I did from step 1 through 6, guess what? That was just pre-selling. That was not even like, I haven't even gotten the book in hand yet. Okay. 7th thing is I launched. Okay. Now, when I actually had the book in my hand and I am done, I promoted my book in many different ways. Okay. I did blogging, which is my favorite. I love to blog. Okay. Now you got to find what you love to do. But for me, weekly blogs was fun for me. I did reels. Now back in 2021, reels were just popping. So you could do a reel and you get like 5,000 views. Nobody knew you. But Instagram was pushing out the reels. It ain't like it is today in 2023. You got to work a little bit harder. But in 2021, reels were popping. Okay. I didn't even know what I was doing, but I was like, I'm going to do these reels. I did lives, right? Still continue to do my weekly lives. And then I posted my book description at least, hear me, at least 3 times. Now, I didn't do just the boring, like you see people where they'll just post a book and then, you go to their Instagram feed and it's just a book all over. I didn't do that. No, I didn't do that. I'm giving away a little bit too much, but I'll just say this. I talk about it in my Market Your Book bundle. I got a bundle. If you really want to know exactly my launch plan, I put it in the bundle. But I'll say this. There are different ways that you can put your book out there without it being the same. Okay? Switch it up a little bit, right? But I basically talked about the book description. I talked about things that were in the book, right? I showed videos. I mean, your girl was showing up and showing out at least 3 times a week. Okay. So that's the 7th thing. I was in launch mode, right? And I also did some of those things that I talked to you guys about yesterday with the keys. I said, celebrate yourself. I did a live. Hey, I did it. I did an unboxing. I did a live unboxing. You guys, it's all in the Impact to Income ebook that I'm giving you for free this week. So if you haven't gotten it, hurry up and grab it because I'm only giving it out till Friday. Like literally the things that I did are in this book. So I would go to the link in my bio. If you're on YouTube, it's going to be in the video description. But if you're on Instagram, the Impact to Income ebook, it's the truth. It's the truth. All right, so we got two more. I told y'all it's a lot. We're on step 8. So this is very important. I tracked my goals. This is so important, you guys, because how are you going to know what's working? I tracked my goals. I still do this to this day, okay? Friday is my tracking day where I go and I check my Amazon royalties. I check, well, now I get email alerts and things like that. But back then in 2021, Fridays, I repeatedly looked at what was working. And this is important. You gotta find a balance between what you love and what is working, because some things that you may love to do, for me specifically, I loved blogging, but the reels is what was working. So I had to balance between doing at least one thing that I loved that was feeding me, but also looking at the data and using what was working. And at that time, what was working were reels. Okay. And so I did that at least once a week, track my goals, and I stayed consistent. And this is important, you guys. Hold on one second. When I get nervous, you guys, probably can't tell because I'm excited, but I get like super dry mouth. So I'm trying to stay hydrated. All right. And I'm excited. I'm excited to share with you guys this, but I've never shared my exact marketing plan. So I'm like literally, I'm blessing y'all right now. But staying consistent, and this is important, not just days, okay? Not even weeks, but months. And this is why this book, I believe, not only since it launched, it's sold consistently, but even afterwards, because I had put in the work. I had planted the seeds, right? We're Christians. I can talk about planting. I had planted the seed for the harvest that I'm standing in today. And yes, it does help when you start then running ads. We'll talk about that on Friday because that's a whole nother live. But all of these things this is before I even learned about Amazon ads. I was just doing organic. I was just showing up on Instagram. Instagram was my main platform, and Facebook. I wasn't even on YouTube. I just got on YouTube like really, really consistently last year is when I launched. Okay. So we're on 8. Yes, I said track my goals at least once a week. I looked at what was working. I made sure to do at least one thing that I loved. At that time, it was blogging, but the reels was what was working. So I did that, and I stayed consistent. Okay, that's important. And then the 9th thing, I'm going to end it here, you guys, because I know I gave you a lot. Okay, I told you it's a marketing plan. So I launched in October of 2021. Okay. If you didn't know this, and I'm gonna give you a real pro tip, and this is real. If you did not know, some of the best times to launch a book is summer and fall, around late summer, fall, before Black Friday, before Christmas, before the holiday season, because people start shopping for Christmas usually around September, October. Okay, so you want to have a book now. You want to be working on your book now, so that when you're launching, there are people who are looking to buy. Okay, so I launched during a time that I already knew, because like I said, I've published many books in fall, and I had the data to understand this. So I'm just giving you a pro tip. Okay, great time to launch a book. So from October to November is when I was staying consistent, doing all those things that I shared. But this is really what accelerated, and I'm adding this in there. In November, before Black Friday, I launched a bundle product. This launch, you guys, this one launch, and it wasn't expensive. It was only like $60. I took my book, I added some journals and some trainings to it, and I bundled it all up. And let me tell y'all, what I made in that whole time from when I was pre-launching, like I started around September, right, to October when I launched, in that 4 days, hear me, in that Black Friday, in that bundle, your girl made more money than in all those 2 months combined. So when I tell you that creating bundles, creating digital products, going beyond the book, even though it still surrounded my book, this is what we're going to talk about next week. What I learned to do there, I was like, oh, wait a minute. And because I was tracking the data, I said, I'm onto something. And of course, yes, it was Black Friday. And yes, it was during that holiday season. But I had already primed my audience. I had built a community. And everybody who bought from me came out of my email list. I'm sure there were people who wasn't on my email list, but most of them that made me have multiple four figures were on my email list. They had saw me staying consistent. They had saw me giving and serving. They had saw me showing up giving live. So it was an easy decision because the people that I had been growing were people who wanted to do exactly what I had. My book was about. And so I had a multiple four-figure launch with a $60 bundle. So it don't even have to be expensive. Now I have things that are way more than 60, but this is back in 2021. And I had just started really venturing into this kind of digital product, bundle. I mean, I have done bundles before. I had done bundles with books, but I'd never done bundles with like training, digital, products. And so I'm like, oh, I'm onto something here. I'm onto something. Okay. So that is everything that I did, you guys, to have a successful, to meet my financial goals, to make consistent sales. That is everything up from, I gave you about 3 months because I announced that my book was coming out. I believe I announced it in July. Yes, it was my birthday. I remember it was in July because that's my birthday month. I announced it. I did the 30-day live challenge in July. I remember I started it was like right around 4th of July. Yep. Did the 30-day challenge in July. Remember, I was giving out this free checklist, right? In August, was emailing my list. September, started pre-selling. By October, launched, right? Had a successful launch. And so all of these things, you guys, it's a process. It's a process. And I talk about it in my Market Your Book bundle. I think I did a 10-week launch. That's what it came out to, 10 weeks. But because of leading with generosity, because of showing up and serving, because of the strategies that I just gave you, I have had consistent sales. Okay. And I haven't even talked about the Amazon ads because I didn't start doing that until January I took a free training and then I, started learning about Amazon ads in 2022. And then it just continued. It continued from there. But I can't give you all of that because you're gonna have to buy the Market Your Book bundle. Okay, because I done gave you a lot already. So I hope you guys enjoyed day 15. You guys, I'm celebrating that I made it halfway through this 30-day life challenge. And I hope you enjoyed my exact marketing plan. And if you just jumped on, I gave you the play by play, like everything that I did. And so if you missed it, you can go back and watch the replay. But I have never shared this before. So I'm going to open it up for Q&A. I think I'm done. I just said a lot. So let me stop talking and open it up. Oh, I see lots of comments. You are such a rock star. Oh, thank you, Miranda. Will do. Good morning. Oh, is it morning where you are? Awesome. Thank you guys for joining me from different places. I am in California. So it is about 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. But I know that people are joining me from all over. So, oh, wow. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. Yes. And you know what? I sent this out to my email list. So that's another reason why tomorrow we are going to talk about the email list and how I do email marketing and just give you some tips if you're new to it. So join me tomorrow for day 16. But I sent this out to my email list. And I told them tonight is going down. So that's probably why I got so many people on. So thank you so much for joining. But that is the power of having an email list. Okay. And I knew enough about from my other previous launches and what I learned from a business coach. I knew enough about not launching to crickets. Okay. I knew enough to build up, even if it's a small audience, to have someone to promote my book to, because I was only talking to the person who was a person of faith who wanted to write a book and self-publish a book and market a book. Okay, so that's who I was targeting. Okay, first time authors, and now I've kind of graduated to, I know I have a lot of authors who follow me, and that's why we're talking about marketing tips, because at the end of the day, as kingdom entrepreneurs, when we are blessed, we are the ones who are generous and we give back. And I was just having this conversation. Okay, I know I said I'm gonna wrap up, but I want to say this because this is really my heart. This is truly one of my goals. And when I launch my new book, I have a multi what I want to make, right, is at least 5,000 with my book sales. And I have I'll say a ministry that I want to give to. And so for me, it's important that and like probably other, Christians and people of faith, you have things that are close to your heart that God is like, hey, you know what? If you had the ability and you had the extra, you could give, to that mission or to whatever it is that, God has put on your heart to do. So this is why I talk about making impact and income, because it's about the kingdom, right? It's about what we can do. And just super, super excited. So any questions? I know I said a lot. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome. I've been praying for a website/list and have not been promoting it. Oh, it's okay. Well, you know what? Use this as your motivation. You can do it. Get started. For me, I started off for so I've always had Wix. Wix is the site. I don't really use it that much now, I'll be honest, but back in 2021, that's what I had. Now I've moved up to Samcart, and I used to use MailChimp. Like when I first got started, MailChimp is the email provider, but now I use ConvertKit. I'll talk about that more tomorrow because that's email marketing, and then we're going to get into a whole nother live. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Are there any questions? That's what I have. Wix. Okay. Yep. I mean, Wix is just, when you just get started, it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest. The only thing I use my Wix for now is my blog. I don't sell through Wix. I hardly use Wix, but I do have a website. Oh, and another thing, if you didn't know this, you can get a free Google website if you have a business. Okay. So we'll talk about that going beyond the book. But I set up my LLC, for anybody who didn't know, Tahir Gift Consulting LLC in 2021. So I launched it with my book. And if you have an actual business, Google will give you a free website. Free. So right now, if you Google Tahir Gift Consulting, you'll see my free website. So what I know now, I probably would have just went with Samcart to sell my book and my products. But because I have a blog and I like to blog, that's why I keep Wix, but it's just, yeah. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions before we go? All right, then. Well, I don't see any more questions. I want to encourage you, if you have not already, to get the Impact to Income ebook, because this is where the marketing keys is coming out of. And I printed it out because usually this is just a part of my Market Your Book bundle. But for this week only, to support you, and I'm looking for my table of contents. Where did I put it? It's somewhere. But get the Impact to Income ebook, okay? It will bless you and give you a lot of the strategies that not only I shared, but that I'm going to be using when my new book come out, Freedom for Today. And you guys will probably those who get the book, you'll be like, oh, I see she doing it. That's what she doing. You'll know because it works. Because it works. All right, you guys, that's all I have for today. I will be back tomorrow for day 16, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And oh, we are 40 minutes. So yes, I think this is my longest live, but I know I covered a lot. So thank you for joining, and I hope you guys take whatever strategies that you heard today and that resonated with you and implement it. Take action. You can do it. All right. I'll be back tomorrow. Until next time, you are so welcome. You're so welcome. Until next time, live well, love well, and be well. All right. See you guys tomorrow.